auditing. So, in the objectives of auditing, in the objectives of auditing, there is a detection and prevention of errors. There is a detection and prevention of errors. That is the main objective. Generally, errors are the result of carelessness on the part of the person. So, without taking care, he is going to read the accounts. That leads to errors. That is, the errors are the result of carelessness on the part of persons preparing the accounts. Sometimes errors may be the result of manipulation of accounts, fraudulent manipulation of accounts. Sometimes errors may be the result of fraudulent manipulation of accounts. Manipulation of accounts. Sometimes errors may be the result of fraudulent manipulation of accounts. Auditors should be very careful because sometimes an accounting manipulation may appear to be an error. During the course of auditing, errors may be detected. Though auditing does not ensure detection of errors, all errors and frauds. In case of sole traders and partnership firms, detection of errors and frauds is an important objective. So, errors may be found out by the auditor. Founded by the auditor. So there are number of errors is there. There are number of errors is there. So in first year in financial accountancy, we explained the errors. So now it is time to know the errors because the auditor must correct these errors. So which type of errors are going to be? So the auditor must find out that error when he is auditing. Now we are going to learn regarding errors. Regarding errors. Number one, errors of principle. Number one, errors of principle. Errors of principle means when principles of bookkeeping and accountancy are not followed in the treatment and recording of item of a transaction. It is known as error of principle. It is known as error of principle. So, when principle of bookkeeping and accounts are not followed in the treatment and recording of item of transactions. When a transaction is recording, they cannot follow the bookkeeping and accountancy. They are item of income posted to a personal account like relevant rent received credited to the personal account and of the person making payment. It will reduce the profits and increase creditors in the balance sheet. So rent paid means what is the entry rent account at or to cash account. By mistakenly, they write X account at or to cash account because we are paying X rent to X. So what it may be, he may be X or Y or Z. But entry may be according to principle rent account at or to cash account. What is rent account at or to cash account? And debit all expenses and losses. Rent comes under expenses, so he can write entry rent account data to cash account. Instead of this entry, they write X account data to cash account. Then what happens? The it will reduce the profits and increase the creditors in the balance sheet. It will reduce the profits and increase the creditors in balance sheet. Next, second mistake. Second errors of principle is item of expenses posted to personal account like rent paid to landlord posted to the debit of his account. Thereby, profits will increase as well as debtors in the balance sheet. So, in the first error, rent received means cash account debtor to rent account. Cash account debtor to rent account. Instead of this entry, cash account debtor to X account. Then the profit will reduces and the creditors will increases. In the second error, actual entry rent account debtor to cash account, but they can write as X account debtor to cash account. Thereby, profits will increase as well as debtors in the balance sheet. Next, third principle of error is wrong allocation of expenditure between capital and revenue. Wrong allocation of expenditure between capital and revenue. Revenue expenditure may be treated as capital expenditure and vice versa. That means capital expenditure may be treated as revenue expenditure. Repairing of plant and machinery debited or charged to machinery account instead of repairs account. So repairs to plant and machinery means the actual entry is repairs account data to cash account. But instead of this, they can made as plant account data to cash account. So revenue item goes to capital. It will inflate the profits and increase value of plant and machinery in the balance sheet. It will not show true and correct view of financial position of business. Next, fourth one. Revenue items posted to a wrong account when salaries are posted to wages account or general expenses being posted to advertisement account. These errors do not affect the net profits of a business, but correct picture of business accounts is not available. So instead of wages account, they can write as a salaries account or advertisement account. But the profit will not affect, but the balance will not show the correct picture. So this is another principle of error. Next, some other errors. When valuation of various assets is not made as per the principles of accountancy, like valuation of stock, investments, plant and machinery, etc., these errors have great impact on the financial statements prepared for the business. Prepared for the business. Some other errors or principles are wrong provision for doubtful debts, providing inadequate depreciation, providing excess of depreciation. So, in the above examples, the treatment of an item is not according to generally accepted accounting principles. Sometimes such errors are committed with the object of manipulation of accounts. Ultimate purpose of such may be to inflate or deflate profits. Sometimes these errors may be committed unintentionally. Such errors are not disclosed in the trial balance. Debit and credit side of the transactions are same. Such errors can be detected by thorough checking of each and every transaction. Errors of principle affect the reliability of financial statements. Errors of principles Errors of principles affect the reliability of financial statements. These are the errors of principles. Next, second one, errors of omissions. Second one, errors of omissions. Errors of omissions means
ఏముంది ఈరోజు అక్కడ ఈడ చూపించి ఆనంద్ చూసాను చూపి
errors of omission. When a transaction is omitted fully or partially from the
చెప్పు
books
నేను
of account, when a, tra-
చేసుకో అయితే కేక్ కూడా ఈరోజు ఫాదర్స్ డే కదా కేక్ తెచ్చి కేక్ పోయి డాడీ వస్తావు పోయి మన చాపు కేక్ దాపు కేక్ దాపు చాపు యాక్టింగ్ మనదు పో
errors of omissions. When a transaction is omitted fully or partially from books of accounts, such types of errors are known as errors of omissions. So, some transactions omitted fully or partially. Such errors may be called as errors of omissions. Usually, it arises due to mistake of clerk. It is mistaken by clerk. Mistaken by clerk. Where the transaction is totally omitted from the books, it will not affect trial balance and hence becomes more difficult to detect. Such errors can be detected only by careful scrutiny. So errors of omissions will not affect the trial balance, will not affect the final balance sheet also. So in this errors, the auditor must take carefulness because double effect errors will appear. So, then the trial balance and balance sheet also not affect. Like this type of errors, the auditor must take carefully. Following, so these type of errors are omission of purchases from purchase day book, omission of sales from sales day book, omitting the entry of changing depreciation in the books, rent or interest paid or 11 months, the remaining amount which is unpaid or outstanding has not been recorded in the books. These are the errors of omissions. From these omissions, the trial balance will not affect and the balance sheet also will not affect. For that, the auditor must take care relating to these errors. The above transactions to have been recorded in the books of account, but due to mistake or oversight or carelessness have been totally omitted from the books. Such mistakes can be detected by careful checking and verification. Such omission of transaction may be unintentional or otherwise. In certain cases, the transactions are partially recorded. These errors may affect trial balance. So, in some cases, partially recorded, then the trial balance will affect. Then the trial balance will affect. These errors may affect trial balance. Partially errors, when partial errors is gone, then the trial balance will shown affect. The examples of partially mistakes is entry for purchases omitted from the account of suppliers or total of purchase day book omitted to be posted to purchase account. Entry for sale is omitted from the account of customer. Next, omission of cash receipts to be posted to ledger from cash book. These are the some important partial omissions errors. Some of the errors of omissions are easy to locate, such as there must be 12 entries on the debit side of salary or rent account during 1 year. If the number of entries is less than 12, the auditor can easily locate the omission. But those omissions which are completely omitted from the books are difficult to locate. Through checking of sequence of vouchers may help the auditor to locate such omissions. Attention must always be drawn if there is a big break in the series of vouchers. Omission of purchase vouchers from the books is difficult to locate, but when payment is made to a supplier for which no purchase entry appears in the account of such supplier, the omission can be located. Errors of omissions may be intentional or otherwise, but in both the cases, profit or loss of the year is affected. So this is the errors of omissions. This is the errors of omissions. So first one errors of principles. Second one is errors of omissions. Third one errors of commission. Errors of commission. When entries made in the book of original entry are ledger, are ledger incorrect wholly or partially. Such errors are of commission. Usually, these errors arise due to negligence in recording of some business transactions in the books of accounts. These errors may or may not affect the trial balance, profit and loss account, and balance sheet. These errors may be intentional or otherwise. Or otherwise. Some examples for this errors of commission is wrong recording in the book of original entry wholly or partially. Goods purchased for 1000 rupees recorded in purchase day book as 100 rupees. Or goods of 500 rupees purchased from M&A company recorded as from Canada company in purchase day book. Such errors do not affect trial balance. One side debit error is there, another side credit error is there. Then the trial balance will not affect. This can be called as errors of commission. Wrong totaling of book of original entry. Next, wrong posting or postings to the wrong account. Next, posting to wrong side of an account. Instead of debiting an account, it may be wrongly credited and vice versa. Next, wrong carry forward of balances of accounts to the trial balance. Wrong subsidiary book used for recording a transaction. Other examples of errors of commission. When a transaction is posted twice in the book of original entry or posting to account in the ledger is made twice or balance of account is shown twice in the trial balance. These are the errors of commission. First one is errors of principal. Second one is second one is errors of omission. Third one is errors of commission. Fourth one errors of duplication. Errors of duplication. Errors of duplication. When a transaction is recorded twice and also posted twice in the ledger, such an error will not affect the trial balance. Sometimes supplier sends the invoice in duplicate and both the copies of the bill are recorded separately. It is more difficult to locate such error. it is more difficult to locate in this type of errors. Only through checking and comparing of vouchers with entries in the books of original entry will reveal such errors. While going through an account will reveal errors of duplication if two entries on the same side are appearing with the same account. So errors of duplication is very difficult to locate in this type of errors. Next one, compensating errors. Compensating means one mistake compels to other. Compensating errors. When an error offsets the effect of another error, such error is known as compensating error. When an error offsets the effect of another error, ఒక తప్పు ఇంకో తప్పును ఇంకో తప్పు ద్వారా పూరింపబడుతుంది, కనిపించకుండా చేయబడుతుంది. సచ్ ఎర్రర్స్ కెన్ బి కాంపెన్సేటింగ్ ఎర్రర్. Such error is known as compensating error. These errors do not affect agreement of trial balance, hence cannot be located by it. ఇటువంటి తప్పులు కూడా మనకు అంకణా ద్వారా వెల్లడి కావు. కాబట్టి ఎటువంటి తప్పులు కూడా మనకు తెలుసుకోవడం చాలా కష్టతరం అవుతుంది. These errors can be located by checking the totals, postings and casting. Some of these errors may affect the profit of the year. So this is the errors of compensating. Totally, there are five types of errors: errors of principals, errors of omission, errors of commission, errors of duplication, compensating errors. So when an auditor is going to audit some firm's books, he must know how much types of errors may be gone. So he can keep it in mind and go through the audit. Concentrating on this type of errors, he can do the audit. So how to detect errors? So all these type of errors may be gone. How to detect these errors by an auditor? So an auditor can detect an error when he is called upon to do so, although it is not his duty. If an editor does so, he does it. It is an accountant, not as an auditor. Location of an error depends on environment in the organization. He may pose a small difference provided that he has satisfied himself that books have been thoroughly examined. But there is always a danger in passing such error. The auditor may take the following points into consideration while detecting an error. So when an error detecting, the following points to be taken. The following points to be taken. The following points to be taken. Point A. If various books are maintained on self-balance system, errors can be located by scrutiny of such books. Second one. If self-balance system is not used, then the trial balance should be checked and ledger accounts balances shall be compared with those shown in trial balance. It is possible some balances in the ledger might not have been transferred to trial balance. Next, checking the totals of trial balance. It is possible that there may be totaling mistake. Compare the balances of accounts in the trial balance with the balances of accounts in the ledger. It is possible that some balances accounts might not have been properly transferred to trial balance. In case there is any difference in trial balance, see if there is any account having similar balance which is not taken to trial balance. Half the difference in trial balance and compare it with the balance of an account, as the account's balance may be taken on the wrong side in trial balance. Next, if still there remains difference in trial balance, check the balances of ledger accounts with the trial balance. Next one, examine the totaling and balancing of each account in the ledger and see that balances are carried forward to the next page. Then total the list of creditors and debtors and compare it with the balances shown in trial balance. Verify the total of subsidiary books and their posting to ledger. Compare items of trial balance with the items of trial balance of previous year to see if any account balance is omitted. See that all journal entries are posted to ledger. Over and above all this, intensive and careful verification of subsidiary records, vouchers and ledgers is the only remedy for locating an error. So, in this manner, The auditor may detect the errors. The auditor may detect the errors. This is the procedure to know the errors. So these are the errors we learned in the first year already. But now regarding auditor, so the auditor must know all these type of errors is there. So the auditor may know this type of errors may be occurred. So which type of error taken place in the account books of accounts, then he take carefulness and audit the books. From the above errors, so auditor should see all the mistakes, all the errors this type of six methods of errors, which type of error is gone in the books of accounts. So then he point out that error and he can audit the books of accounts. For that, somebody says auditor is a watchdog, not a bloodhound. Auditor is a watchdog, but not a bloodhound. Auditor కాపలా కుక్కయే కానీ వేట కుక్క కాదు అంటాడు. కాపలా కాస్తుంది ఎక్కడ మిస్టేక్ జరిగింది అని చెప్పేసి, వేట కుక్క అంటే కరిచేది అనమాట, అలా కరవడానికి వీలు కాదు అని చెప్పేసి ఏంటి. సో మనకి ఈ విధంగా కూడా క్వశ్చన్ ఇస్తారు. ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ ఆడిటర్ ఈజ్ ఎ వాచ్ డాగ్ నాట్ ఎ బ్లడ్ హోండ్, ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ అని చెప్పి చెప్తాడు. అప్పుడు మనము ఈ విధంగా ఆన్సర్ ఇవ్వాల్సి వస్తుంది. ఓకే, ఇఫ్ ద ఫేమస్ అండ్ ఆల్సో దిస్ కెన్ బి ట్రీటెడ్ ద ఆడిటర్స్ డ్యూటీ కూడా చెప్పుకోవచ్చు. వాట్ ఆర్ ద ఆడిటర్స్ డ్యూటీ మీన్స్ ఆడిటర్ ఈజ్ ఏ వాచ్ డాగ్ బట్ నాట్ ఏ బ్లడ్ హోండ్ అని చెప్పేసి దాని కింద కూడా మన ఆన్సర్ ఇది ఆడిటర్స్ డ్యూటీ కింద చెప్పుకోవచ్చు. ఇఫ్ ద ఫేమస్ కేస్ ఆఫ్ కింగ్స్టన్ కాటన్ మిల్స్ కంపెనీ 1986 ద అబౌవ్ రెఫరెన్సెస్ వాజ్ మేడ్. ఈ రెఫరెన్స్ ఎప్పుడు వచ్చింది అంటే 1986లో కింగ్స్టన్ కాటన్ మిల్స్ కంపెనీ కేసు ద్వారా ఈ పదము బయటకు వచ్చిందని చెప్పుకోవచ్చు. ఈ పదము బయటకు వచ్చిందని చెప్పుకోవచ్చు. So, an auditor is not bound to be detective or to approach his work with suspicion or with the foregone conclusion that there is something wrong. He is a watchdog but not a bloodhound. He is justified in believing trade servants of the company and is entitled to rely upon their representation provided he takes reasonable care. The following conclusions can be drawn from the judgment. An auditor is a watchdog. An auditor is a watchdog. కాపలాదారుడు. The auditor must take care of interests of the owners of the business. The watchdog is kept by its owners to remain alert and inform the owners whenever any suspicion arises. ఎక్కడైనా దొంగలు ఏమైనా పన్నారంటే కాపలాకు ఒక వెంటనే బోవు నరిసి ఆ యజమానికి వెంటనే జాగ్రత్త పడని చెప్తుంది. ఇన్ ద సేమ్ మేనర్ same is the position of the an auditor. He should make every effort to detect errors and frauds so that he can protect the interest of his client. All this should be conducted by the auditor honestly and tactfully. సో ఏ విధంగా అయితే కాపలా కుక్క యజమాని యొక్క ఆస్తికి కాపలాదారుగా ఉండి ఎప్పుడైనా వెంటనే ఇక్కడ దొంగలు పడినా కానీ ఇంకా ఏం జరిగినా వెంటనే అది యజమానిని మేల్కొలుపుతుంది. ఇన్ ద సేమ్ మేనర్ తన క్లయింట్ తనకు అప్పగించిన పనిని చేయడానికి ఆడిటర్ ఎక్కడ తప్పులు జరిగినా వెంటనే పట్టుకొని వాటిని సరి చేయాల్సి ఉంటుంది, వాటిని బయటకు తీసుకురావాల్సి ఉంటుంది. కాపలా కుక్క మాత్రం అన్నింటిని బాగా జాగ్రత్తగా చూసి ఆ ట్రాన్సాక్షన్స్ అన్ని చేయాల్సి ఉంటుంది. నెక్స్ట్ సెకండ్, ఆడిటర్ ఈజ్ నాట్ ఏ బ్లడ్ హుండ్. వేట కుక్క కాదు. డ్యూటీ ఆఫ్ ఆడిటర్ ఈజ్ నాట్ దట్ ఆఫ్ బ్లడ్ హుండ్. ఈజ్ ఫుల్లీ జస్టిఫైడ్ ఇన్ బిలీవింగ్ దట్ ట్రైడ్ సర్వెంట్స్ ఆఫ్ ద కంపెనీ and is entitled to rely upon their representation provided he takes reasonable care. It is not the part of his duty to harm those who have been found guilty or are found responsible for negligence or misappropriation. He shall not harm the persons whose work he is to certify. The auditor must be systematic, sincere, and honest while conducting his work. This is the ఆడిటర్ ఈజ్ నాట్ ఏ బ్లడ్ హోండ్. వేట కుక్క కాదు అని చెప్పడానికి ఇంతమని చెప్పుకోవచ్చు. ఓకే, detection of errors and frauds. The auditor has to ensure that there is no material misstatement in the financial statements arising from errors and frauds. He has to exercise certain degree of skill and care for detecting errors and frauds. This can be accomplished through checking and watching thoroughly books of accounts, ledger accounts, vouchers, and other relevant information and data available. And data available. The auditor has a professional knowledge and expertise of his own field to certify the financial statements as to their fairness and truth, has to decide the degree and levels of checks and scrutiny to be applied for detection of errors and frauds. If he certifies the accounts as correct to the best of his knowledge and belief, he cannot be held responsible for an error or fraud which is still there are in financial statements. This is the position of auditors. This is the position of auditors. So, prevention of errors and frauds. Next, prevention of errors and frauds. Auditor cannot do anything directly to prevent errors and frauds. He cannot do anything to prevent the అంటే ఆ తప్పులు సవరించడానికి డైరెక్ట్గా అతనికి ఏం చేయడానికి వీలు కాదు. After completing the audit work, the auditor can advise his client by making suggestions regarding various ways to prevent errors and frauds in future if he is asked for that. సో ఆడిట్ అంతా కంప్లీట్ అయిపోయిన తర్వాత అతని క్లయింట్తో చెప్పాల్సి వస్తుంది, ఈ విధంగా మిస్టేక్ జరుగుతున్నాయి, ఈ విధంగా మిస్టేక్ జరుగుతున్నాయి, కాబట్టి ఇటువంటి మిస్టేక్ జరగకుండా ముందు చూసుకోండి అని చెప్తాడు. అతను ఆ తప్పులు సవరించడానికి ఎప్పుడేం వీలు కాదు, బట్ ఇటువంటి మిస్టేక్స్ అనేవి జరిగినాయి కాబట్టి నెక్స్ట్ ఇటువంటి మిస్టేక్ జరగకుండా చూసుకోండి అని చెప్పడానికి అవకాశం ఉంది. సో the auditor can advise his client by making suggestions regarding various ways to prevent errors and frauds in future if he is asked for that. The suggestions are changes in accounting system, improvement in internal control system. In future, the chances of errors and frauds can be minimized. So we have taken these steps, that is changes in accounting system, improvement in internal control system. Automatically, the errors and frauds can be minimized in future. The visits made by the auditor to check accounts keep moral check on the staff engaged in preparing the accounting books. They know that accounts are finally to be audited and any fraud or error will be detected. So, you must say the accountants or staff. After completion of the books accounts, the audit may be taken place. Where the mistake is found out, they can be penalized. Like that, the client can give the session to the staff. The auditor shall follow the following standards while performing his duties. When he performs his duties, the following standards may be followed by the auditor. So he shall assess the internal control system, enforce and verify its working. It shall be ensured that accounting principles are followed while recording the business transactions. Accounting principles are followed. That means WMP system of accounting is followed and verify it while recording the business transactions. It shall be examined whether policies of management have been followed while recording accounting transaction. Second one, it shall be examined that various accounts have been prepared as per provisions of Companies Act. It shall be checked whether profit and loss account and balance sheet exhibit true and fair view of state of affairs of the concern. Whether an auditor is responsible for the non-detection of errors and frauds will depend on the following factors. He has fulfilled his duty as per the prevailing standards of profession. He has used a reasonable degree of skill, care, and intelligence while performing his work. He has taken into consideration all such materials which can lead to a suspicion about some error or fraud. A damage or loss has arisen on account of negligence on his part. He has believed a substantial accuracy in the statement of affairs. In the statement of affairs.
సాగు చేసుకోకూడదు పనమ్మలకు రావు.
Regarding position of auditor, in regard to frauds and errors, in regards to frauds and errors, if the auditor has carried out the audit, as per
Hindu
generally
also
accepted,
until powder what they say.
is not liable for
Hindustan.
misstatement if any fraud or error is discovered during the course of audit. He should see that errors are corrected and information about fraud is reflected in his report. The fact must be brought to the notice of all concerned at the earliest. As a watchdog, he shall not unnecessarily sniff for errors or frauds. But if something wrong smells out, he shall not overlook it, it carelessly. The verification and checkings must be widened to bring out any error and fraud. We should not forget that it is the responsibility of management to prevent frauds and errors. These are the frauds and errors duties of the auditors. Regarding to frauds and errors and the duties of the auditor. Okay. From this, we concluded this topic.